Hello and welcome back. Today I am tackling the central plaza, all the way up past the cats to the farm and back down again, nearly to the entrance. So this is a pretty big build, and I'm going to start by covering up that eyesore. Now this project has been a long time coming, but I've been saving it till we're closer to the big day because this is one of the most festive builds in the zoo. I am creating a German-style Christmas market with, I think I actually ended up with 20 individual stalls with little shops in them, each of them individually decorated. And right here in the middle, I am putting together sort of a little piece of an old town European street with two-story houses that are close together, but they aren't the same building. You see this in a lot of European cities where buildings were sort of shoved together, have the wood framing here, normal wood on the other, stone on one, brick on another, and they're sort of leaning against each other. But they're built by different people, sometimes at different points in time. So the styles vary, the heights can even vary, even though you have them 2 stories right next to each other. And I realized when I was editing this that I used a lot of Indian pieces. But if you change it up a bit, just use a few, cover up some of the ornaments, they can actually end up looking great in a European context. And my favorite piece, which for once is actually being used as what it is, a hinge. Now in this zoo, I have built shops, I have built restaurants, I have built habitats, I have even built a carousel. But this market, this is my magnum opus, which really just means big thing that I did, but everything sounds more fancy in Latin, so I'm going with magnum opus. And it is the biggest build. It is definitely the one with the highest piece count in the zoo, maybe the highest piece count I've ever done. And it's not because of this building in the center. In fact, this entire building, despite the detail, is really just a background. This roof was kind of tricky because I'm working on the grid and all of the pieces are on the same grid. I'm not removing any of them just to adjust the height a little bit like I've done before. I really wanted to use these tiles, but I did not want to use the overhang pieces, even though it has corner overhang pieces, but they have that swoop at the end that looked great on the tea house. It's the same roof. There are 3 different types of tile roof. There's the Asian one, the painted one, and the terracotta. That one. And I'm using all of them. Again, to give it that sort of cohesive style, but at the same time have each building be different. And now we are moving on to the thing itself. Don't know if any of you have been to a German-style Christmas market, but they have these wooden stalls that are pretty much all the same, and they're usually quite a bit more simple than this one. All the ornaments cut out of. That's a door, by the way. I love using the doors for things other than doors. The Arctic wood pieces. I do believe I was in the middle of a sentence and then I forgot what I was saying. Oh yes, they're usually less ornamented than this. They're just basically built from boards. And then all of the decoration and stuff is the responsibility of the person selling things in the stall. But since this is a Christmas zoo, I kind of thought that these stalls would actually be there all year round. Christmas in December, Christmas in July, Christmas all the time. And so they have built them permanent rather than temporary and used better materials, put a little more effort into it. Now this part was super difficult to film because every time I had to zoom out in order to get better hold of those arrows, I ended up going through the roof or through the walls, and then, yeah, which is why I cut it there. And then I took that thing and I copied it. And I switched up the shops inside them and gave them signs. And then it was time to decorate. And the only reason this video is not 4 hours long is that I used a special patented,
no actual patent,
method of delete and repeat, strategically deleting things and then filming while I undo. Where I sort of switch between speed build and, I guess, stop motion. And again, my favorite piece, this time posing as little chocolate buttons. And what you see here is the delete and repeat method. This piece of video has not been cut at all. Now this stall, t-shirts by Valilou. The t-shirts are actually by Valilou. They are grabbed from the Steam Workshop and placed in here wholesale. Shift Z has also made a lot of great shop content. Look at that. yeah, their stuff is actually fills 3 stores in my market. So if you want to check out one person on the Steam Workshop for store content, make it Shift Z. But also check out the others. Now the contents of this store, the little candy shop, is one of my proudest creations. You can't really see why yet. Now you are beginning to see why. Look at that. Those look like tiny versions of the giant gummies that I did for the other builds. I totally want to eat that candy, even though they're eggs, and also pixels. Now, my first inclination, of course, was to use the hinge, because that's what I use for everything, but the eggs just work really well as candy. And those are lamps, but I turned them off so that the candy jars are not randomly glowing. There's another Shift Z store. Speaking of lamps, look at those things. How? I guess the fact that most of the candles are lit in the store is less than realistic, but I don't think you can actually turn them off in-game. Yeah, this little store is another build that I'm quite happy with. If I do say so myself, which, I just did. Using the gutter pieces from the conservation pack to make mugs, which of course only works if they're on a table where you can't see underneath the table. And that, of course, is one of those espresso stomper things. And what you're seeing here, by the way, is my 4th attempt at building a coffee maker. Just to say that it was not easy. And that, of course, is to say that if you fail, that's normal. Just try again. Fail some more. I figured go big or go home, since this is supposed to be a place where many people will come for coffee. They need to have a lot of it. It's kind of industrial looking machine. Although that looks like filter coffee, so I'm not sure why they need the espresso stomp on the thing. Don't think too much. Yeah, think less, fail more, and have a wonderful Christmas. Also, don't think about the fact that those plants would not survive in the Arctic. And while you are not thinking, let me tell you what will happen in the last episodes of this series. Tomorrow, December 21st, I will be tackling the train station. The Polar Express will start running. And what do we need to look at when we are riding the Polar Express? We need to look at a polar bear. So that is who will be joining the zoo on December 22nd. Then on the 23rd, one of the most important things, Santa's workshop. And on the 24th, an animal that has been asked for, the reindeer, as well as Santa's iconic sled. How is she going to make the cupcake cups, you ask? Yes, you do. Look at that. Can you understand why this build took me 2.5 days? So many shops. So many pieces. The game was not lagging before I built this, but it started lagging afterwards. If I was in an Arctic zoo with benches full of snow, I would definitely buy a pillow. More Shift Z. And Keyboard Keeper is the third person whose stuff I grabbed off the marketplace, because look at those. Every animal in the game, Keyboard Keeper has made as a plushie. Speed build over. Let's take a look at the result. Sun is slowly starting to set. The lights are coming on. And the people are letting go of their balloons for some reason. Now I want fudge. And of course, our newest sponsors have been added to the big sign at the entrance. Now please remember to bring your children to the zoo at midnight and give them coffee. Bye!